We are currently OP7, trying to progress through the OP levels here.
Hope you've had your shots. See you real soon.
Thinking about picking up a Good Touch and maybe a Lascaux. I don't know if they're actually viable at the OP levels, but kind of curious to see if they are. Hello Squiggy. How are you going? So let's jump back to Sanctuary and pick up a Good Touch anyway. Lascaux seems like something that might be useful for the spider ants. Maybe, I'm not sure if it's really viable with the bee shield, but I want to get it on level 1 just to play around with it, see what it's like. And also we have some iridium to spend as well. Now iridium upgrades are priced at 100, so we do have enough. We've got 183. With all of the Torg tokens we were farming in Pete's bar there, we did collect a good haul of iridium. So we got assault rifle, pistol, launcher, shotgun. Well, probably pistols are most useful now that we have the Herald. So let's go for a pistol ammo upgrade. And I might as well pick up a Good Touch while we're here.
You keep that up, I might just have to pay you back somehow. Oh, you're making me as shy as a hooker in confession. I'm not a hooker though.
It's going. Long shift today. How are we? I'm doing very well, thank you.
How generous of you. Here, this is my favorite gun. You'll understand when you use it.
Inventory's full. I guess we don't really need this anymore now that we've got the Kerr Blaster. We can drop this other Torg assault rifle we've been holding on to. And this old launcher, we can drop that. That'll do. Give us a little bit of space. How's the parts learning going? Well, so far I've been looking at the mostly the grips for the assault rifle and pistol. So while I was shopping for the Herald and the Kerr Blaster, and also looking at the Torg prefixes. So that's what I've been focusing on so far, is just the grips for assault rifle and pistol, and the prefixes. Hello Raimundo. First time on stream, came across your videos a few days ago on YouTube. Oh, it's nice to see you here. Let's see, we got... Oh yeah, would not mind getting a Lascaux as well. So Lascaux is Frostburn Canyon, I think. Yes. These shops here.
I'll patch you up whenever you need it.
Longbow corrosive cloud.
Enough.
Now I have to keep in mind these guys are OP7, so I have to be a little bit careful. Enemy behind. phase locking enemies above. I think it might be easier to come across the top way. Oh, that's true. I could just use the breakneck to get past them. That's true. Maybe I should do that. Let's try that. So if we go, for a Rough Rider. Oh, that's all I need, isn't it? Yes. Oh, just use the Rough Rider and zoom past. The Sandhawk is. Yeah, so we got a level 50 Sandhawk, non-elemental one. We have another Sandhawk, I think it's a slag one. So that's what we ended up getting with as far as our Sandhawks go. We got two non-elemental Sandhawks and one slag or slag. So that's what we have. So this is the OP2 slag Sandhawk and a non-elemental one. And so I'm carrying around just the higher level of the two non-elemental ones.
And now you will fall.
I wonder if I can just run straight there. Here it is. So that's definitely a faster way to do it. Just to sprint straight for the Lascaux, come back again. If you're going to use a speed skill, put on the class mod 2. So yeah, we got. Oh yeah, I guess so. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So that would be better. So that would put our fleet up to what, 11? Yeah, 11. Yeah, so I was running around with a fleet of 5. So yeah, thank you for that, Raimundo. I was only running around with fleet at 5 instead of 11. Okay, so let's have a look at the Lascaux we did end up getting here. So we got this guy, Reserve Lascaux. So I might just look up what prefix reserve is, just at least so I can learn what these prefixes do. So I have been learning a little bit about grips and prefixes. Now let's have a look at this particular one, Reserve. You can probably recognize the grip too. Let's have a look at the grip. So let's have another look at it. Grip. So I guess that's a banded grip because it's got those wraps on it. Banded grip. Yeah. So at least I can recognize the banded grips with the wrapping on it. And reserve prefix. Let's have a quick look what the reserve prefix is for SMGs. So Dahl. Oh, wait a second. Reserve. Yeah, it is Dahl, isn't it? So where is reserve? Am I looking at the wrong one? SMG prefixes. Under Dahl. Can't see reserve. I'm not sure what that prefix means. I thought it would be here under Dahl SMG prefixes. Anyway, we'll leave it. So that'll do. We can play around with that one. I'm not going to farm. I'm not going to farm too much for other ones. I think it's more ammo because it's bandit. Oh, I see. Right. So the bandit group there is giving more ammo. So yeah, maybe that's what reserve is. Increased ammo. Alright. So we got those two things we can play around with. Let's go back to Digistruct Peak. Okay, reserve just means bandit grip. Oh, I see. Okay. So that's what reserve means.
Hope you've had your shots. Next time you're bleeding to death, just think, Dr. Z.
If you can't find it on the table, the drop doesn't have an accessory that adds a prefix. Okay.
High
Right.
quality, low prices, and no questions asked.
Sorry Ben, I got distracted. It's going great, still live and kicking. How are you doing, bud? I'm doing well. I just finished farming for some Torg items in the Torg shop at Pete's Bar there. So we ended up buying this Herald from the Torg shop and this Kerr Blaster as well. So that's what we've been doing for the past couple times, is farming for some Torg tokens. So such like Captain Scarlet's Pimpernel, Scarlet, Fire, Snyder. Right. Oh yeah, so it's like the default prefix without any special thing. Nice matching grip. Yeah, that's right. We have been. Yeah, I made an effort to get matching grips for the Kerr Blaster and the Herald. Because I was getting them from the Torg shop, I could afford to be a little bit more fussy with those items. Check the shops here. Now, let's switch up our loadout here before I forget. So put the B shield on. Blurred Trickster. And the Flame. Bone of the Ancients. The arguably best prefix for the Lascaux is stopping, which is damage. Right. So stopping's damage. And Skirmish Sandhawk, Pimpernel. Okay, let's leave things like that for now. So we've got a few new items we can play around with. Oh, we actually have... Oh, that's right. My speed was still fast because my shields were down. So yours is like average, maybe a bit worse than average. I guess with the... so with the banded grip, that's probably reduced damage, isn't it? Let me just check what happens with the banded grip. But I think it probably is reduced damage, increased fire rate, and so not sniper rifles. SMG grip. So the bandit grip, increased magazine size, also minus reload speed and accuracy. Okay, so you're losing reload speed and accuracy with the bandit grip and getting magazine size. But I guess magazine size is not too bad with the Lascaux because it is a sort of a pretty spammy weapon where you're just shooting it a lot. So having an extended magazine with a Lascaux is probably not a terrible thing.
Please assemble here and we can begin.
I think the rest of this looks okay. We'll start off like this. As always, weapon parts boil down to your preferences. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. I guess after a while you get a feel for what weapon parts you like, what characteristics you like for particular guns. Spider ant and marauder maybe. Oh, spider ant's still alive. Now, I'm pretty sure we get surveyors in the beginning here. Well, good luck with the run. Thank you, Squiggy. We'll see how we go. We have some new bits and pieces to play around with. What do we have over in this corner? Some spider hands. So I'm glad I got rid of that big spider ant first. Try to get rid of that badass surveyor. They're always a handful. And a sapper. Try to get rid of these surveyors before the sapper if I can. Trying to avoid those fire projectiles, didn't quite make it. Wait for my shields to recharge here. Okay, so that's the first section done. Can be tricky actually, that first section. Love and hate the Peak music. Yeah, it certainly brings on a sense of nostalgia if you haven't done the Peak for a while and you come back and you hear the music again. I certainly felt that sense of nostalgia when I first came back to do the Peak again with Maya here.
Hold it.
Squiggy absolutely loves it. Has a very peaky vibe to it. Yes, it does have sort of a tense atmospheric vibe to it. It's something you have to find a balance to have something that's tense and atmospheric, but at the same way not too distracting. For something like the Peak that you're doing over and over again, you don't want music that's going to be too distracting, otherwise it's going to get annoying very quickly. So I think they've done a good balance between music that's atmospheric and tense without being too distracting. Tense atmosphere, yep, exactly that, yep. Just gives me flashbacks to too many fails. Not a huge fan of doing the OP levels. Yeah, it can be frustrating. Certainly can be frustrating getting through the OP levels. So this is the furthest I've got through the OP levels. This is OP7 here. I go up to OP6 with 0. And this is OP7.
Silence. That was interesting.
Persistence makes perfect. Yeah, that's right. Certainly, and memorizing the spawns makes a big difference with the Digistruct Peak as well. So that's something that you do get an appreciation for. If you're redoing the same level over and over again, you get to memorize the what enemies you're going to face and where they spawn from. Particularly useful for the surveyors, having an appreciation where the surveyors are going to come from, so you can deal with them as soon as they spawn. Okay, let's go and grab this ammo. OP6, very remarkable already. OP7 is already further than the old level cap. Well, level 72 OP8, mind you, too. So it's huge progress still. Certainly have had some challenges so far, particularly with the assassin area. Trying to deal with the assassins in that arena area, because it's so cramped. Difficult to deal with them. But yeah, it certainly feels good to get further than I did with the 0. I think Maya's phase lock skill is a little bit more useful for Digistruct Peak than Deception, probably. For the most part. Although Deception is actually quite handy with Dukino's mum. If you need to reposition, behind the rock, having Deception is actually quite nice. But other than that, probably the phase lock's more useful overall.
This turret should keep you on your toes.
Let's see what I can see if I can get rid of some of these turrets. Oh, we already have someone up here.
Stay still.
Wasn't paying attention to the enemies coming up. So I think now we just have the turrets. Oh no, we still got a marauder down here. A nomad. Let's face like this nomad, he seems quite happy to stay back. I think that's all the bandits now, we can push forward. If you just peek around the rock a little bit, the turrets can't get a shot off on you. Oh yeah, and then we pick Sal at some point and just get to OP10 with a single shotgun and the grog. Okay, so Sal is the easiest one for Digistruct Peak. No effort, just existing, so just plow through Digistruct Peak with Sal. Salvador is a glitch. Okay, so very like a broken character, Sal. Absolutely. Streamer will enjoy him a bunch, I assume, employing strats he learned from previous characters. Money shot chains, all the good stuff. Sal just has 2 weapons on his hands on demand. Yeah, probably. Yeah, and you can put together some broken combinations with the 2 weapons. All effects from one gun will get 2 effects and vice versa. That's all you need. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Having that sort of a character to just plow through parts of the game. So we've got surveyors pretty early on here.
Calm down. Hold it right there.
So that's unusual. Generally you don't get double surveyors, or I haven't seen double surveyors at this point. Another loader way down the bottom there. Sal's definitely people's favourite, most people's favourite, because he's the most powerful. Combine a Nukem and a Slag Pimp. Shooting Slag Pimp will give you the Nukem damage on each Pimp pellet, plus Slag effect from the Pimp. Okay. Look at the Nukem and the Slag Pimp, right, so you'll be doing huge damage at that point. Basically, all you need is a matching grip coach gun and your ruby and grog. Yeah, and then you'll be pretty much healing the whole time. Healing the whole time that you're shooting with the grog as well. Absolutely hate Sal. Oh, because he's too powerful and broken. Religiously refuse to play him, yeah. Yeah. He's just too powerful and broken. I guess once you take Sal all the way to OP 10, I mean the only other thing you can really do with him is a 1 life run, I guess. Otherwise, there's not much challenge to using the character anymore. Let's see if we can get rid of these surveyors here.
This will work.
1 down, another surveyor coming through. I'll just wait for the phase lock to cool off here. I got shot. Let's get some cover at the top here. Okay, now we just have the 1 enemy left. I think it's some... Oh, it's a marauder. I thought it was a loader shooting me from behind. I'm not the coach gun, an orphan maker. Oh, if not the coach gun, the orphan maker, right. So, if not one sort of shotgun, then a different one. Bit maths, a pimp can score up to 26 times the listed damage in total. So it'll be 26 times the Nukem's damage added on top of the pimp damage, And you also get up to 880% damage if your RPG mag is empty. Money shot skill, very fun. So 880% damage on top. Okay, so you'd be just obliterating pretty much everything at that point with the Nukem, the Pimp, and then the Money Shot. I guess it'd be fun, at least initially, to play that character, just to experience all of that. One more enemy spawning above. I think these are loaders on top of the cliff here. And another surveyor zooming in. Did not get a chance to get a shot off here on that surveyor. Oh, it's an exploding loader. So now we just have the surveyor here.
Enough.
I guess I could have switched over to their Sandhawk there. It'll be fun. Yeah, especially if you have badass rank on top of it helping stats. It gets even more broken. Yeah. Yeah, I still have my badass rank switched on, so yeah, it would make it even worse at that point. My first character was Maya. Yeah, my first character was Axton. And that seems to be pretty common. I've talked to other people and it seems to be a pretty common choice. People's first character is pretty common to choose Axton. So this is... first I tried Axton a little bit. Then I took Zero up to OP, the OP levels, and now Maya here. I have Bard disabled, yeah. Yeah, I guess at some point you want to disable it. The badass ranks. I guess it gets. I guess even the badass ranks gets broken if you have it too far up. If you have too much points in it. To me, it doesn't make much sense to make a game easier the more you play it. Yeah. I not long ago got my Axton to Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Very fun. Yeah, that's another character I'd like to take further. I think I got my Axton. I don't think I've got my Axton above normal mode, so I've still got a lot to play with Axton. They all cap out around 45%. Right. So that's the limit for the badass ranks.
The Incinerator clan killed Scorch for being a heathen. As gods tend
So
to
now
do,
we have
however,
the
he
Scorchers
respawned.
coming in, and surveyors here.
Hold it right there.
I was hoping to kill one of the surveyors without getting hit. So I currently have a sniper here and a Scorch right behind.
Gotcha.
And got hit. I think it's safer to run around the rock. Two Scorchers right behind. Oh, I got hit again by that Scorch. Okay. We have at least one of the surveyors down. I'll just concentrate on the surveyors for now. That's probably the easiest thing to do. One surveyor left. The Scorches are coming through the other way. Let's see if I can jump on this rock. It's a little bit risky to jump on that rock.
Please stop.
Okay, so now it's just the Scorches.
Hold it right there.
Almost got stuck there.
Stop.
Try to angle around to the critical point there. I finally got one of them down.
Shut up.
Kind of curious to see what the Lascaux is like here. I'm going to just try it a little bit. Maybe I'll just take the Pimpernel off, put the Sandhawk here. So I guess it's not doing a ton of damage. Got another Hellfire out of it though. Currently have a Hellfire, so this might be better than the one we currently have. So the distribution is essentially void, since at some point you'll only be able to select specific boosts. Yeah, to finish them off, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, mine's a lot more than 45. I'm not sure what mine are at, but certainly not that far. Sure, you can push it up to 32 to the 32-bit integer cap and give yourself a crap ton of bonuses with the profile editors. Okay, so you can use a save game editor to push it past the normal amount. Okay, I'm going now as I need to sleep since it's 1 AM. All right, see you later, Raimundo. Thank you for stopping by. Maybe you can start employing a useful thing called enemy pathing abuse. Enemies only track your ground position to attack you. So say you're spamming jump when an enemy spawns, it will either not move at all or run into a specific direction until you touch the ground. That'd be useful for things like the rabid enemies, like the rabid skags and stalkers, because they move so fast. Probably be very useful to jump around for those. In other words, if you constantly jump around enemies, it confuses the shit out of them. So yeah, I probably should be jumping around if I'm dealing with the rabid enemies. It also works with flying enemies, for example, buzzards spawning, bloodwing, etc. Put into practice, you can sidestep jump a psycho and he will keep running into the direction he was running to. Melee enemies will not be able to attack you. Ranged enemies will still shoot you. Right. Yeah, that's interesting actually. Sort of strafe jumping to dodge probably be useful for those enemies that charge right for you. So I might actually try to do that more often, particularly with like the rabid enemies, like strafe jumping. Might work. Enemies also have a turning time, so the time it takes them to adjust to your position. Circling around them will allow you to dodge their attacks You can even force them into melee animation and sidestep around them to repeat the attack. Just constantly press jump when sprinting until it becomes a natural. It's called bunny hopping, right. Yeah, I was using strafing to avoid some of the melee enemies in Tiny Tina's. That's those with they seem to have slow melee attacks where you can just sidestep them, but a lot of the other enemies not so much. But combining that with jumping is probably be very useful. Yeah, that's something I probably should do more of, is jump around. So let's make some room and compare this new Hellfire. Not that I'm really using it, but I have a couple of these bone shredders I'm not using. I might keep the shock one, just dump the other one. I never use these things.
That is beautiful.
So let's have a quick look at these Hellfires. So consummate. But doing more damage. Let's have a look at the... So this is Maliwan. Let me just look up what a Maliwan SMG grip looks like, just so I can have a look at this. So, okay, so this is the Maliwan one, this round one, round SMG grip, plus elemental effect chance. So that's, if I want a matching grip for that Maliwan, that's the sort of one that we want, the rounded one. Which is what this one has. So I guess this is the matching grip for the Maliwan. That might be a better one to keep. This one here with the matching grip. Yep, GG, yep. But at least the Maliwan grips are easy to identify with that rounded trigger guard. That big rounded trigger guard there. And it's doing more damage as well. So we'll keep the one with the matching grip and we can drop the other one. I think that's what we'll do. So maybe the Lascaux is actually useful just for hip firing. With a large magazine size, the double shot, and the decent fire rate might be okay. So we got the ammo here. We can push forward. I'll just double check. There's nothing here I need. Not using shotguns at all. I did actually collect my conference call here from the bank. Not sure whether it's going to be useful in Digistruct Peak. I thought I might pick it up just in case. So that's something else we might play around with, is seeing if that conference call's useful at all for Digistruct Peak. Maybe for the Spider Ant Queens, maybe the conference call would be useful.
A fantastic day for capitalism.
Lobbed corrosive singularity. Mostly using SMG ammo here. Everything else looks okay.
Don't die. I need your business.
So we'll put on the corrosive lady fist. and the Harold. So the Blue Trickster, probably don't need it here. Probably the fire rate boost might be the most, and critical hit damage. That's probably the most useful here. And the Sheriff's Badge. Well, let's go for that. Perfect setup. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is probably the out of the class mods that I have, this is probably the best one I have. Critical damage and fire rate. And I was lucky enough to get a corrosive Lady Fist. Oh, shock ball straight off the bat. Another little guy right behind. Oh, he's not paying attention to my shields there. Another shock ball. Now the shock ball. There we go. Easy. Yeah, I think it's just getting the, trying to get the distance right. And trying to react to the shock balls as well. What is this purple one? Dahl? Purple repeater. Corrosive. I was trying to use those little guys for phase locking, but they kind of got in the way a bit more. So Dukino's mum's taken care of. Very good. We can switch up our loadout again. We'll go back to what we had before. Sandhawk. Pimpernel is quite useful here actually. I wouldn't mind trying the conference call here. When you've got those big crowds of spider ants with the queens, this conference call might actually be useful with the spider ant queens. Let's see, we'll put the Pimpernel. Pimpernel is quite useful for this section. Blurred Trickster.
Which is superior?
And probably the Flame. Going to the Ancients. Keep it like that. Okay, before the next section, I'll take a quick break and I'll be right back.